this is the next step. This is the day we're going to finish this thing up. Okay. Got your stain stock here. It's all good and dry. Hell, it's been dry in a week. So, all right. Let's go back over what you're going to need for this final step. All right. Now, I prefer to use some kind of a wire to hang the stock up. That way it's not leaning up against anything. You don't have any worry of it like falling over or anything like that. But what I use is this, I think it's 17 gauge galvanized fence wire. It's just some stuff that we have here on my parents' farm. Just cut you a little piece of this and you can loop it through a hole in the stock, like right up top here. And take it around here. Twist it around a little bit. Make yourself a little hook out of it. And then it works pretty good just for hanging it up. You don't really have to worry about anything, like it falling over or anything like that. So it comes in real handy. Okay. You're going to need your Tru-oil. Cat again. Get out of the way. Get. Some cheesecloth. Right here, this is what you're going to apply the Tru-oil with. Some gloves, definitely, because this stuff, you don't want all over your hands. And then some steel wool to finish in between the layers of Tru-oil. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, now what I did, I just found a place to hang it. We just got this garage door frame here. Works pretty good. Just twisted a little extra piece of wire around it, just leave it hanging. That way you can work on it as you go. Just leave it hanging to dry. And that way it's got no risk of falling over or anything like that. You want to do it usually in the enclosed area where you don't have any kind of dust flying around too much. You don't want to do it outside because the wind will be blowing. It'll be blowing crap all over it. You definitely don't want little particles of pollen and dirt or anything like that to get on your stock while it's in the drying process, because that would make it look like poop. Okay, so what you're going to do is just fold you up a little piece of cheesecloth. I cut this piece about 6 inches wide by, as wide as it is. It's about 12 inches wide. Folded it over and rolled it up to a nice little package like this. Now you don't want any kind of the cut end sticking out, because see, you got these threads and stuff on there. You want to do it with a solid end. Okay, and you're just going to take this and you're going to get some Tru-oil on there. If I can get it out. This is an old bottle. It'll come out in a minute. It's got some hard stuff in there. See, you get some Tru-oil on there like that. A little bit more on there. See, you let this stuff sit too long and it starts to solidify a little bit on the inside. But anyways, you take some Tru-oil. What you do is you start at the top of your stock and just start putting it on. Just a real thin layer of it, because like I said, you're going to be putting, what I do is 6 to 8 layers of it, and it'll thicken up. Just rub it on in there. Like I said, it's going to be a thin coat, the first time. You don't want it too thick. Just get, mostly all of it that you can, all the little corners and stuff. And when you do certain sections of it, you want to overlap it, just like you're painting a wall. You want to overlap the section that you just did. That way it evens the layer, finish out. So when you start feeling like it's getting a little bit low, what you want to do is just stop there, go back and get you some. You can do too, to conserve this thing so it doesn't dry out, is put it in a plastic sandwich baggie.
Yeah, just leave it laying around there, and every time I blow out my copper, I blow it out in the damn yard, and I got to go use it.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
Get all the air out of it. And you can just close it on up there and use it again in about 2 to 3 hours. So now it's time to wait on it to dry. Okay, so now we've waited about 2 hours on this first application of Tru-oil to dry. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your steel wool, for starters. You're going to go over it just very lightly with the grain and just buff it slightly. What this is going to do is help the next layer to adhere just a little bit better. This is about as mundane as sanding is, so you just do this over the entire stock, just like I said, real light. You don't want to, sand it down too much. But 2 hours is usually enough for this stuff to dry. It's not tacky. You might want to wait about 3 just to be safe. But this is This process is pretty much hurry up and wait. You know, like I said, I put about 6 to 8 coats on here. Just depends on how thick you want it, and the more coats you put on, the better protected it's going to be. You know, the better it's going to look in the end. So, but we'll do this, and we'll put one more coat on today, and then we'll let it dry. And just do this process over however many times you want, and when you get it to the desired the layering that you want, just go over it like this, but just do it a little bit more. You know, you want to get like kind of a satin look to it when it's all done. You know, you'll smooth out any kind of little rough spots, with the finish, just kind of get it down. But I like them when they have that satin look to them, more so than a glossy look. But this is what you're going to do for the rest of the time. And when you get done, you're going to have a really nice finish. It's going to be real smooth. It's going to fill in most of these little pits in the wood there, where the grain is. It's going to start looking really, really nice. And then once you get done with everything, you can put it all back together, and there's your rifle. Okay, now in between the steel wool and your next coat of Tru-oil, you're going to want to take a tack cloth and you're going to go over this thing and get any kind of like little steel wool particles or dust or whatever else off of it. You always want a tack cloth in between every coat of finish. Every single one. It's just going to get all those little particles off of there. So that's pretty much it. Just that.
And waiting.
And waiting. Yep, lots of waiting.
Alright, so that's going to be the next video. We're going to finish this stock. I've got all the bluing done. We're going to throw this thing back together, and we're going to shoot some groups with it and see how it does. So stay tuned.